Welcome to the Great Debate Show, and I'm your host, Uncle JJ. And as always, I got something to say. And today I want to talk about DK Metcalf and his suspension, 2-game suspension, adding up to a sum of $555K. Do you think that was a little too harsh? And could that suspension hurt the Pittsburgh Steelers? They're not in the playoffs just yet. They have to still win because Baltimore is desperate, and the Ravens are doing everything they can to make it. They've got to win out, and I'm going to talk about their big pivotal game Saturday against the Green Bay Packers. That's going to be good. We got a few good games on Saturday, Texans, Chargers, and the Packers and Ravens. And then Sunday, it gets kind of boring. I'm going to talk about the New Year's Day's college football games and all that, and I'm going to tell you why. Or, I'm going to give you a scenario, a possibility of how Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow both could be leaving the AFC North. This could be their last year. I'll give you a few destinations on where they should go. All right. Do y'all think that Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles offense is back on track? They're finding ways to win. Every game has been different. However, they beat the Raiders and they beat the Commanders the last 2 weeks. Is anybody really afraid of the Eagles anymore when we get to the playoffs? Winners of the NFC East 2 years in a row. How you feel about it? All right? How y'all doing, y'all? Bang, bang, Niner gang. Traveling 49er Queen says he should keep his hands to himself. He did not do that, and that's why his ass is suspended. Good comment, though, Traveling Queen. She also says, go Niners. Bang, bang, Queen. How you doing? Curtis Taylor, BT. Purdy looked good last night despite the injuries Colts were dealing. Yeah, right. Yeah, he looked good, man. And look, that's why I say, do what you're supposed to do. Because what would have looked bad is if we had to beat them by 3. You know what I'm saying? Beat them by 7. And it's like, it should have been worse. But it was. When people say teams beat up on bad teams, but they really beat up on them like they're a bad team, I don't see anything wrong with it. So, yeah. Could Lamar Jackson get traded? Ladies and gentlemen, should the Ravens trade him, or should they just get rid of the coach, John Harbaugh, and move on, start a new regime, and bring somebody with a better offensive mind, somebody with an innovative offensive playbook that can really take Lamar Jackson to the max? Everything Lamar Jackson has did this season has basically been just him putting the Ravens on his back and saying, y'all go ahead and jump on and ride with me. And right now, at the age of 29, which is what he'll be in January, I think it's time for somebody to come in that's going to get the most out of him. He's going to be in the pocket a lot more. He is a good pocket passer. You just don't get to see it enough or a lot because he always has been stuck with a Greg Roman or a Todd Monk who just come up with creative ways to run him. And he's going to slow down. With these injuries coming in and ailing back, he's not going to be able to just run the ball all the time. So I'm going to give you a scenario where Lamar Jackson could possibly land. And this is really a AFC North episode, to be honest with you. I talked about my Niners last night. If y'all missed that, please go check out that content. But I can see Joe Burrow going to the Minnesota Vikings. I made that proposal yesterday. He could get traded to Minnesota, get with Kevin O'Connell. They crapped out on Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones. They could have kept one of the two. They didn't. They're stuck with J.J. McCarthy. Yes, he's a rookie or in his second year playing as a rookie. But do you think J.J. McCarthy is going to be Joe Burrow? If not, why not go get Joe Burrow? I mean, why not? Kevin O'Connell, the quarterback whisperer. He's got a good running game, decent offensive line. Brian Flores, if he's still there in Minnesota, he's a good DC. They just have a more competent front office than the Cincinnati Bengals do. The Bengals suck, and they always have. And they don't like to pay people, or at least the right people. So I would say just send Joe Burrow away from Jamar Chase and send him over to Minnesota so he can get with his other former LSU teammate, Justin Jefferson. If not, what about the Indianapolis Colts? My Niners just dragged them last night pretty good, even though Phillip Rivers didn't look bad for his age, but our defense is bad. But I digress. The Colts need a quarterback, and they can't rely on Daniel Jones, who ruptured his Achilles and may be out for a majority of the 2026 season. Sam Darnold signed already in Seattle. He'll be there for a few years. What do? I think that kicking the tires on Joe Burrow would be a great idea, but I don't know if the Bengals would trade him in the same conference. But if they did, the Colts would be the team Joe Burrow could go to. And what about Lamar Jackson? Did you know Lamar Jackson is under contract with the team through 2027, which is right around the corner, but he doesn't have any guaranteed money after this season either, just like Joe Burrow. So I'm proposing Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. It's a possibility that they could not be in the AFC North. Maybe next year, but not after 2026. I'm going to start the stuff now because I like to always, like put this stuff out there before everybody else. You heard it here first. If anybody else says it, they got it from the Great Debate Show podcast. They got it from Uncle JJ. Joe Burrow has no more guaranteed money. Neither does Lamar Jackson after this season. You can trade these guys. I know it sounds crazy to say. If I was a Raven, I wouldn't want to trade Lamar. But it's just time for something different. Either Lamar has to go or John Harbaugh has to go. And I just think it's time for a new regime. Derrick Henry's about to be 32. The offensive line is kind of reeling now. It ain't what it used to be. And you can see, because Lamar Jackson has dealt with injuries all season, on and off. What if Lamar Jackson got traded to the NFC? Just like Joe Burrow. I'm saying Burrow to the Vikings or the Colts. And I'm saying maybe Lamar Jackson. Who needs a quarterback right now in the NFC? The Arizona Cardinals don't have one. They're letting go of Kyler Murray. Now, I know I've already made a proposal of the Cardinals and the Dolphins swapping quarterbacks. Tua to Arizona, Kyler Murray to Miami. Even though I think Kyler Murray should probably go back to baseball. He's a pretty good pitcher, I heard. But I digress. Lamar Jackson could be an Arizona Cardinal. If the Rams won the Super Bowl and Matt Stafford decides to hang it up, what if Sean McVay was able to get a Lamar Jackson? That would be dangerous. I would not like it. And I know Niner fans are saying, shut the fuck up. Stop trying to put Lamar Jackson in the NFC West. I'm just throwing out, trade scenarios, though. The NFC is where these guys are going to go because the Ravens and the Bengals would not want to see those guys in the AFC if they can help it. What if Aaron Rodgers retires? I know good and damn well the Ravens wouldn't trade Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson to the Steelers. But what if they just gave up a king's ransom, though, for him? Lamar Jackson and Mike Tomlin would be unbelievable. And people would finally shut the fuck up and stop saying fire Tomlin. But I do think Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers may actually win a playoff game this year. No, I take that back. No, they won't. If they play Buffalo, they won't. But, no, Buffalo's going to play Jacksonville. The Steelers are going to play the Chargers. The Steelers may win a playoff game this year, only because they'll be in Pittsburgh. But anyway, back to Lamar. Chicago's got their quarterback. Detroit, we still think they're going to keep riding with Jared Goff, right? Who else do we have? Green Bay's got their quarterback, so we can get rid of the NFC North. What about the NFC South? The Panthers, if they get to the playoffs, I'm sure they're going to keep rolling with Bryce Young. Tyler Shook looks like he's set in New Orleans, but you can't pass up Lamar Jackson, though. So, but the Saints suck. Then again, they don't look that bad. I'm trying to think of teams in the NFC where he could go to. The NFC East, you've got Jackson Dart with the Giants. He's there for the future now. The Commanders have got, what's his name? Jaden Daniels, even though he had an injury-riddled season. What about, I don't see the Cowboys getting rid of Dak. Do you think the Cowboys and the Ravens could make a trade, Dak for Lamar? I doubt it. And then Jalen Hurts, even though some people are sick of Jalen Hurts and they think he's a system quarterback and he don't throw the ball well, I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. So maybe Lamar would have to go to an AFC team. The Raiders would definitely do everything they could to get him, but the Raiders just ain't got enough. They would have to really give up a lot, but the Ravens would trade him to the Raiders. What about the AFC West is pretty locked up. The AFC South is pretty locked up. CJ Stroud, Cam Ward. Who else we got? Who else we got in the AFC South? Damn. Trevor Lawrence. I'm missing one. Oh, yeah, the Colts. I said that already. The Colts need a quarterback. So I would say Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson are the two quarterbacks that they would kick the tires on. I don't know if either team makes a deal with the Colts because they're in the same conference, but they're not in the same division. I can't really think of an NFC team that would go really hard for Lamar, but I would say the same thing I said about Joe Burrow. There are 28, 29 teams in the league outside of Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes that would say, hey, I want him. He's better than my quarterback. Now, me being a 49er fan and after watching Brock Purdy the past 5 weeks, you know, I know we'd be hard-pressed to say, hey, we're moving on. We're going to go upgrade. I don't think we do it. I wouldn't mind us doing it, but I know we wouldn't. But the only NFC team I can think of is the Rams if Stafford retires. Other than that, everybody else pretty much seems to have their quarterback outside of the Arizona Cardinals. And I don't want Lamar or Joe Burrow in the NFC West. So I'm saying Burrow to the Vikings or Colts. And I'm saying Lamar Jackson to the Colts or Cardinals. That's how I see it. But with no guaranteed money after this year, the Baltimore Ravens have 3 playoff wins in 8 seasons. That ain't a lot to show for. No hardware, no Super Bowl ring. At some point, you just got to wonder, are they going to say, let's start this thing over? Now, I'm about to read the comments, and I'm sure people are going to say, hey, man, we had injuries this year. We'll be back. Man, I don't want to hear that shit. The 49ers have more injuries than any team in football. Look at the stats it shows. In the past 9 seasons since Kyle Shanahan has been the 49ers head coach, it's like over 200 games missed with players due to injury. And this season probably is the worst. No Fred Warner, no Nick Bosa, no Mikael Williams. Now I could keep going on and on and on. And we still have a chance to control our own destiny and be a #1 seed in the playoffs. So I don't want to hear it. The coaching is bad in Baltimore. John Harbaugh's overrated. And you can't tell me Mike Tomlin should be fired without mentioning John Harbaugh's name either. They both got the same damn statistics. 1 Super Bowl championship from a long time ago and nothing else to show for it since. The only difference between Tomlin and Harbaugh is that Mike Tomlin ain't had a Lamar Jackson for the past 8 years. And if anybody disagrees with that, you're just delusional or a hater. All right, I just wanted to say that. Just a scenario. It sounds crazy, but when you think about it, it ain't that bad. It ain't that crazy at all. Bengals and Ravens, Burrow and Lamar Jackson both could be leaving the AFC North sooner than later. All right, DK Metcalf staying in the AFC North. DK Metcalf got suspended 2 games, $555K for punching a fan, somewhat punching him. Somebody already said here in the comments that he should keep his hands to himself. I agree. However, these people still have to watch what they say, and we don't know what was said. It's said by DK Metcalf and his people that it was something racial said. Others are saying that the fan didn't say anything racist. The fan has even spoken or tweeted or something like that. I'm not sure. I really don't give a damn, but it's still news right now. And the reason why it's news to me is, and I'm about to read y'all comments in 1 second, DK Metcalf is overrated. I don't know about overrated now. DK Metcalf is from Oxford, Mississippi, went to Ole Miss. That's just about an hour or so away from me. I met his dad last week. Good dude. The motherfucker like 6'6", 6'7", and he's ripped too. So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Those are some men, you know? I mean, like, naturally. I don't think it's juice. I don't think it's HGH, PEDs, or nothing. Them some big boys. So, I wouldn't say he's overrated to his face. I'll put it that way. DK Metcalf was one of my draft crushes, to be honest with you, Logan. You're entitled to your opinion. I don't think he's the best. He's never been top 5. He ain't A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown was my #1 draft crush in that 2019 draft. We picked Deebo Samuel instead of those two. But DK Metcalf is still a bad boy. And where I'm getting at is that, I said all of that to say this. DK Metcalf is Aaron Rodgers' go-to guy. Outside of that big tight end that's nearly 300 pounds. What is Aaron Rodgers going to do Sunday without DK Metcalf? What if they lose out? They're not in the playoffs just yet. Not just yet. Now, the Ravens have a hard path to the playoffs now. They got the Packers on Saturday, which is going to be a good game, a really good game. I can't wait for that one. But what if the Packers somehow lose that game? What if the Ravens can get it? They're desperate. What if they roll the dice and they actually get innovative on offense? What if they start calling plays that they should have been calling all season long? What if Lamar just goes off? We know he's dealing with a back injury, but he's day-to-day, and he plans to play, so he says. So we got Texans and Chargers Saturday at 4:30 Eastern, and we got Ravens and Packers at 8 o'clock Eastern on Saturday night. Those are the best games of the weekend, the 2 Saturday games. Christmas games are they're not going to be all that. Cowboys, Commanders, boring. Lions, Vikings. It'll be kind of, maybe exciting, but it doesn't matter. The Lions are making the playoffs now. I mean, they're not completely eliminated, but it's going to be rough. And they got to go to Minnesota to win, and they're going to need a lot of help. So still kind of boring. And then the Broncos and Chiefs, Christmas night. I think all of these games are on Netflix. The Chiefs are eliminated, and they suck right now. They just lost to the Tennessee Titans Sunday. The Broncos are probably going to kick their ass by halftime and get the rest of their players. So that's boring too. Saturday is where it's at. Texans at Chargers. The Chargers are at home, and they owe the Texans from the last year's AFC wildcard game in Houston, where the Texans beat them. Those are going to be two good games. Back to DK Metcalf, though. The Steelers are going to Cleveland. Now, Cleveland is not a good team. We know that, but they still got a solid defense. And Myles Garrett is 1 sack away from getting the record, the sack record, beating out Michael Strahan and TJ Watt. So if that happens, ladies and gentlemen, it could be a bad day or a long day for Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying the Steelers are going to get upset in Cleveland. I'm just saying without DK Metcalf for this game and the Week 18 game against Baltimore, this hurts the Steelers. If the Ravens beat the Packers, the Steelers are in trouble. Even though it looks like Pittsburgh has this thing wrapped up, not yet. What are the Steelers now? They're 9 and... What are they? 9 and 7? No, not 9 and 7. 9 and 6. Okay? They're 9 and 6, right? And the Ravens are 8 and... No, the Ravens are 7 and 8. Okay? The Ravens went out. Let's just say they beat the Packers. They're 8 and 8. I predicted this to happen, but I thought they'd upset the Patriots. They should have, but they did not. Another reason why Harbaugh needs to go, and that whole coaching staff, offensively, defensively, everything needs to change over there, or get rid of Lamar. But if the Ravens beat the Packers, they're back at 500 at 8 and 8, and that makes the Week 18 game so pivotal, so big, so huge. Because if the Steelers do lose at Cleveland without DK Metcalf, now they fall from what are they again now? 9 and 6. They fall to 9 and 7, and so we'll have the 9 and 7 Steelers hosting the 8 and 8 Ravens. And I wouldn't be surprised without DK Metcalf if the Steelers lose that one too. And now you've got both teams at 9 and 8, just as I predicted. But who wins the North? I think it will be Baltimore. I'm not exactly sure. But, y'all, this is going to be crazy in the AFC North. It's going to be wild. And just like the NFC South with Tampa Bay and Carolina, they got a big game also, Week 18. Carolina just beat them Sunday. And then you've got the Niners and the Seahawks Week 18. This is going to be a crazy, crazy, crazy final 2 weeks. Y'all, don't sleep on the Cleveland Browns upsetting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Without DK Metcalf, I know some people think he's overrated, but he is Aaron Rodgers' #1 target. That's who he's looking for all the time. He doesn't really want to move out of the pocket, and he's always looking for him. If not, it's a sack and a punt on 3rd down. So watch out for that game. I'm damn near going to call a bold prediction and say Cleveland will upset Pittsburgh. And we're going to make that a big, big showdown on Sunday, Week 18, when we have Baltimore going to Pittsburgh. Baltimore owes the Steelers one. The Steelers upset the Ravens. I wouldn't say it was an upset, but they beat the Ravens in Baltimore. It's time for Baltimore to return the favor. Now, if all that happens, then it's almost like, but you said it's the end of an era in Baltimore. Yeah, I still think it is, because the Ravens will probably still fall on their face like Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson has done repeatedly. I just said only 3 playoff wins in 8 seasons. The only way this is not a big thing is if the Steelers just take care of business in Cleveland. But will they? Let me read a few comments and we'll get to it. Oh, shit. I like that, BT. I like that. And then he's close to home, too, because he's from Florida. BT said, how about Lamar Jackson to the Atlanta Falcons? That would be nice. Ooh, you know what? How did I forget about that team? That's the team that we thought that was going to go for Lamar Jackson a few years back before he got his contract extension, when it was kind of up in the air and we thought Baltimore was going to fuck up and not pay him. It was said that he would go to Atlanta or New England, and then all these teams just started backing out. Atlanta, that's the team right there. So that's it, man. Thank you, BT. I love y'all, man. I love y'all so much. Let me read a few more comments over here on YouTube, but I'm going to go with what BT said. Who agrees with my guy over here on TikTok? Lamar Jackson to Atlanta, Joe Burrow to Minnesota. The NFC would be unstoppable if that happened. Get ready because I think it's coming soon. No guaranteed money left on these guys' contract. Lamar Jackson contract is over after the end of 2027, and there's no guaranteed money after this season. Same thing for Joe Burrow. No guaranteed money after this season. All Joe Burrow has to do is say, I want out, and we can start get the ball rolling here. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If my quarterback isn't Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, I'd be calling for Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson services. That's just it. Okay. Again, Texans, Chargers, Ravens at Packers. Those are going to be some great games on Saturday. As good old JR would say in the WWE back in the day. Those two are going to be some slobber knockers. All right, I'm going to talk about the WWE and where they stand in 2026, in my opinion, in a moment. I just want to quickly say the college football playoff predictions, that episode is up on my YouTube channel. Go check it out. It's pretty simple. I think Indiana's going to beat Alabama. I think Indiana's going to the national championship game, and I think we get the rematch. Indiana, Ohio State. And because I said the Buckeyes would go back-to-back, even though a lot of people don't like Ryan Day, I got to stand on what I said. I think Ohio State wins, so give me Buckeyes and Indiana in the national championship game. Y'all, Marcus Freeman, the head coach of Notre Dame, Fighting Irish, is a top head coaching candidate for the New York Giants. Do you all think he should leave Notre Dame for the NFL? I like Freeman. I really do. But should he stay where he's at? They'll probably give him a damn lifetime contract. They love him so much. He's good. I hope he doesn't end up being Brian Kelly. Just a lot of wins and nothing to show for it. But this is a hell of an opportunity to go to the NFL. We just know sometimes we know what the NFL stands for. Not for long. Okay, Lamar to the Falcons. I like that. Nico said, I disagree with no DK. Opens up Rodgers to spread it around with vets Adam Thielen, Valdez-Scantling. Okay, so he thinks the Steelers will be fine without him. I'm cool with that. I'm sure the Ravens hope you're wrong, but we'll see. How about worrying about the Niners losing another Super Bowl, buddy? Hey, man, we probably will. I say Kyle, no style, Scamahan all the time. All the time. But, hey, no worries here because I think this is all scripted anyway. So why would I worry or lose any sleep about it, buddy? They are a quarterback away from playoff contention, says BT. He's talking about the Falcons. You're right. And with Kirk Cousins being old and I don't know what's up with his contract and how many years he's got left on it, but Michael Penix Jr. is always injured. And this is going back to his college years. Yeah, I definitely would kick the tires on Lamar. That's a really good comment. UNLV in Ohio, 60 points. Lock and play. Good comment. Hey, at least we made it to the Super. At least we make it to the Super Bowl. Another good one, Xavier. Yeah, get him, man. Get him. He trolling on us. He's mad because we tapped that ass last night in Indy. Yes, I do like college football, Alex. Damn, I wish I could gift. Follow my TikTok. You can give me a gift, a rose, or whatever, man. Follow the Great Debate Show on all social media platforms. I'm on it, and I'm live right now on YouTube and TikTok. Thank you, Alex. Indiana, Ohio State, rematch, national championship. Give me the Buckeyes to go back-to-back. Joel says Lamar always gets hurt in December. I'm just saying. You're right about that. You're absolutely right. They could protect them better, though. They're dealing with some injuries. Their center, their tackle, and another one is getting older. It's time to kind of revamp some things, hit the reset button. And I think he should just leave. If not, get a coach in that's better than John Harbaugh. I've been asking people for years, what the fuck does John Harbaugh do? What's his philosophy? He was a special teams coach in Philadelphia, y'all. That was it before he got to Baltimore. He's done no more than Mike Tomlin in his time there. So why does he get to be there so long? He's had Lamar Jackson for the past 8 years. Mike Tomlin ain't had a quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger retired. And we all know Big Ben wasn't Big Ben the last 3 years of his career. I wonder if the Ravens can get rid of Derrick Henry, dump him, trade him, or just release him. Frank, that's a good question. And he's about to be 32. I say if Lamar goes, he goes. Let's see here. What else I got? I have beautiful memories of him, says Mustafa. 9-9. Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson will take us all the way. Mark my words. Good comment, Jen. 9-9, 9-4. Hey, man, I like Ben Johnson. He kind of is like a Kyle Shanahan Jr. And Caleb Williams, speaking of him, did you know he got snubbed out of the Pro Bowl? Yeah, the Broncos, the 49ers, and a few other teams led the league with the most Pro Bowl votes, like 6 players. But Caleb Williams didn't make the cut. Do you all agree with that? He won't be going to his first Pro Bowl in February, which it looked like he would, but he's not. He was left on the final 2026 Pro Bowl roster despite finishing 3rd in the fan for voting quarterbacks. The teams that made it in the NFC is Matthew Stafford, possible MVP, Dak Prescott, and Sam Darnold. Out of those 3 quarterbacks, would you replace one of them with Caleb Williams? Maybe Sam Darnold? Yes, he's been good, but the past month he hadn't been as good as he was the first 2 months of the season. Maybe Sam Darnold was who I would have took out for Caleb. Or do you all think that they got it right? Bree said, yeah, replace Sam. I agree. Good one, Bree. Everybody says Sam. J-Ski, BT. Yep, thank y'all. I agree with y'all. BT as well, yep. AD Gen X says CD should have made it over Pickens. Let's see. Did he make it? Who made it, y'all? The 49ers got 6 Pro Bowlers. That surprised the hell out of me. Trent Williams, of course. Kyle Juszczyk, of course. George Kittle, of course. Christian McCaffrey, of course. That's where I thought it probably would have stopped. But we also got our long snapper, John Weeks, and our special teams guy, Luke Gifford, in the Pro Bowl. The Seahawks got 6 as well. Sam Darnold, who we all kind of disagree on. Who we all kind of agreed that shouldn't have made it. We disagree with them. DeMarcus Lawrence, Rashid Shaheed. He just got there, though. That's really a New Orleans Saint Pro Bowler, to be honest with you. Jackson Smith-Njigba, he definitely deserves to get in. We don't speak of him enough, I'm not going to lie. Leonard Williams and Devon Witherspoon are the 6 players for the Seahawks that got in. The Cardinals got a few. Budda Baker, Trey McBride. The Rams got 4. Puka Nacua, Stafford, Jared Verse, and Brian Young. Okay, y'all. Do y'all think DK Metcalf in the 2-game suspension is gonna keep the Steelers out? Did you also know that this suspension for DK Metcalf would void $45 million in guaranteed money if it's upheld? That means they could get rid of him. This would possibly make him a free agent. Ouch. It wasn't worth that punch, man. I hope you got your lip. I hope it felt good, man. But, I mean, it didn't hurt the dude. It was barely even a punch. He just kind of like, the fuck out of here. He was pulling him, and then he just kind of, it wasn't bad at all, but he shouldn't have done it. But that suspension somehow will void $45 million in future guaranteed money if it's upheld. And I say that because the wide receiver, DK Metcalf, does plan to appeal it. Draymond Green and Steve Kerr got into it bad last night. We've seen Steve Kerr in the past years say things like lip syncing. We read his lips when he said, I'm so sick of Draymond shit. Why the fuck is Draymond Green still a Warrior? I don't understand it. Like, remember when I told you a few days ago, the Kansas City Chiefs, if they don't rebuild, if they don't tear it down and rebuild it right now, they're going to be the new Golden State Warriors? This is what I mean. The Warriors are trying too hard to, just reset. We're not going anywhere. We're going to do it. We're going to be another dynasty. No, you're not. This is why I said years ago, when they let KD walk and they kept Draymond, it was the biggest mistake that they could have made. Now, I'm no KD fan. He's a hell of a scorer, but I just don't really rock with the dude like that. And he tweets way too damn much with his sensitive ass. However, he's a baller. And had he stayed in Golden State, do you not think Steph and KD wouldn't have won more championships than they did outside of 2022? Yeah, I think so. What has Draymond done other than just aggravate people and, rub people the wrong way, get into altercations? And, he doesn't really lead the offense anymore, pushing the ball, getting assists. His defense is still so-so, but he ain't the same Draymond anymore. What's the point in keeping him on your roster? It's a waste of time, and it's damn near like dead weight. Draymond exited the bench yesterday and headed to the locker room after getting into a heated discussion with Steve Kerr during the timeout. I think it's time. It's been time. How do you think the Lakers are going to do this year? Liddy, I think the Lakers are cool, but they're not championship material because, well, Luka and LeBron, they're not going to play defense long enough. They may do it in short spans, but they're not going to do it like permanently. It'll be temporary. And Austin Reeves is a liability on defense when we get to the playoffs. He's just not physical enough, and they go right at him, right in his chest, and he can't move laterally like they would like him to. That's why J.J. Redick swarms a lot of these superstars, the best key players. They have a swarming defense because, well, like I said, he knows one-on-one they're just not that good. If they can't score 130, 140 every night, they're still probably going to exit in the first or the second round at best. That's just my opinion now. Now, somebody told me all the teams in LA are going to win championships this year following my LA Dodgers. Somebody said if the Dodgers have won, the LA Rams will win, and the LA Lakers. Do anybody agree with that? That would be crazy if that happened. That almost happened back in like 2007, 2008, when the Boston Red Sox and the Boston Celtics won championships, but the Patriots lost to Eli Manning in Super Bowl 42. Remember that? They blew it. It could have been an all-city championship year. Somebody seems to think in my TikTok a week ago or so, they said that it would be LA. I'm a Dodger, but I don't care about the Lakers. But they are entertaining to watch offensively. But that's it. Hope I answered your question, lady. I have beautiful, okay, what is this? I've been following wrestling since 2008. Let me talk about wrestling for a minute, and I can go ahead and wrap it up. Miami needs Lamar. Tua is out. Oh, I forgot about Miami. He's from Florida. Yeah, fuck that Tua and Kyler Murray swap. They would much rather have Lamar Jackson. Y'all are coming up with some good stuff, man. Y'all are doing better than me. I'm sorry. I'm tweaked out. I hit that tequila bottle pretty hard last night, celebrating the 49ers win. So, yeah, I forgot about Miami. I just spoke of Tua and the Dolphins. How could I forget? The Dolphins is another team. So let's say the Miami Dolphins, the Atlanta Falcons. Those are two teams that would be much better with Lamar Jackson. That's better than the Cardinals because the Cardinals still need a few things. I would love to see Lamar and Joe leave the AFC North. That's basically what I'm saying, and I'm the first one who's really making that proposal. And thank y'all for the trade scenarios, man. That's another good one. Frank said Lamar is done. I disagree. Multiana said Mike Singletary is the GOAT. Okay. I love Singletary, even though he was a little before my time. Delusional equals happiness. Dolphins will win it all. That is delusion. Agree, the Ravens will fall on their face. They are a disappointment. What a waste. Get rid of Hart, Ball, get rid of Lamar, and get rid of Derrick Henry. Well, Frank definitely wants to revamp. Well, I think it's time to. And there's plenty of teams that would love to take those guys off your hands. Baltimore's going to run through the pack. They actually may do that, though. They actually may upset them. The final 2 weeks is drama, 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 which is good for the NFL. You got that right, Frank. The Bears suck. No, they don't. Bro, what is your training list? I want to be muscular. Man, I just try to eat a little, healthy. Weekdays, I don't really eat bullshit. And the weekends, I eat whatever the fuck I want. I'm not going to lie to you. And I just stay lean because I don't lift heavy. I just run and, just do a little something to say I'm doing something. But thank you for the compliment. College football championship belongs to Indiana. Hey, man, you may be right, but ain't it easier to beat a team that you already lost to in the same season versus beating a team that you already beat in that season? I just think somehow the Buckeyes win. I ain't going to break down the terminology of it just yet, but I got till after New Year's to do that. I think the Buckeyes go back-to-back. I said when the Dodgers did it, somebody else is going to do it. It's either going to be the Buckeyes or the OKC Thunder, or both. So that's just my take on it. Let me talk about the wrestling for a minute. Could we beat the Bears? Yes, we can beat the Bears, Melody. We can. I'm not saying we will, but we definitely can. If Joe doesn't leave, then I don't know. He should retire. Good comment, Bree. Now, you sound like me last week. I was saying that I don't know if Joe Burrow is going to be the next Carson Palmer. When he demanded a trade, didn't get it, and he retired. And then he finally got it. And he went to the Raiders. And then finally he became a free agent. And he had a great run in Arizona to finish his career. I said I didn't know if he would be Carson Palmer or would he be Andrew Luck. And that's because he gets his ass beat too much. It's starting to happen to Lamar too in Baltimore. Too many hits. I've talked about the numbers. He's gotten sacked way more than any other quarterback since he's been in the league. And that ain't even counting the quarterback hits when he doesn't get sacked. That offensive line has never been good since he's been in the league. Even in 2021 when he went to the Super Bowl. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bengals had one of the worst offensive lines in football. So can we stop hating on Joe and stop knocking him so damn much? Joe's that dude. It's just the Bengals front office who is failing him. And I think the Ravens front office has been failing Lamar Jackson. And I think both of them need to get the fuck out of the AFC North. That's a good comment, though, Bree. He should probably retire. I think he may have to threaten to do that just to get out of Cincinnati, just like Carson Palmer had to do. But I'm ready for him to start saying, I want out. Let's get this thing rolling. It would be a great offseason if this shit is making the headlines. 49ers winning the NFC. I hope you're right, FSU. Are you a Florida State fan too? Damn. Bang, bang, FSU. Dr. Dave, thank you for following. Melody, yes, we can beat the Bears. Robert Carson, thank you for joining me. I'm a Dodgers fan, a Chargers fan, and a Laker. That's what's up, JoJo. Go Dodgers. You think the Chargers and the Lakers win a championship this year? It'll be a great year for you, wouldn't it? Perryman is suspended, says Katie Lawton. Okay, damn. I missed that. I'm sorry. Bree said, or the Rams. It'll probably be the Rams over the Chargers, even though I like the Chargers. Somebody said 49ers over Chargers, just like Super Bowl 29. They predicted that to happen in Super Bowl 60. I would like that too. I don't think the Rams winning. I don't either, but Liddy, they are rolling. They should have beat Seattle Thursday night in that overtime thriller, and that was without Devontae Adams. I thought that was going to hurt them, but it didn't feel like it was hurting them at all. Y'all, Sean McVay could be coach of the year. Kyle Shanahan could be coach of the year. Mike Vrabel will probably get coach of the year. Maybe even Sean Payton. But at the end of the day, remember what I said. The team that has one of the best records, there will be one or two teams with one of the best records in the NFL that is going to be one and done. I'm just not sure who it's going to be. I think it could be Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars now because people are starting to take them serious, and I'm sorry. I'll believe it when I see it. I just cannot take them serious. I'm sorry. I just can't. Soon as I do, that's when they're going to fall on their face. But that's just my 2 cents. Ben Johnson and the Iceman coming. Y'all really y'all ready for this game Sunday night. 49ers was in prime time last night. On Monday Night Football, they're going to be in prime time this weekend. Sunday Night Football, good game. And let me quickly give you the lineup. And I am going to say a few things about wrestling and get out of here. Sunday, we've got, again, Thursday sucks. Cowboys at Commanders, Lions, Vikings, Broncos at Chiefs. Saturday are the good games. Texans at Chargers, and then the Ravens at Packers Saturday night. Sunday, Buccaneers, Dolphins. Who cares? The Buccaneers need to win, and they probably will, but it's still boring. Patriots, Jets, boring. Steelers, Browns, boring unless the Steelers lose without DK Metcalf in Cleveland. I'm calling that upset. Another upset is probably the Packers losing to the Ravens. And I know the Packers are at home, but it depends on, what's his name? The wide receiver, Christian Watson. If he plays and if he's healthy, we'll see. But without Micah Parsons, if Lamar Jackson plays, they're desperate. Let's see what happens. I just can see that Week 18 Ravens-Steelers game being very, very, very interesting because of what could happen this Sunday. Also, Jaguars-Colts. Now, that's a good one. I don't know how good it'll be, but it'll be a big game because the Colts aren't quite eliminated just yet. And this is where the Jags will probably fall on their face. Everybody's starting to say they're for real, and this is when they'll probably go to Indiana and lose to Grandpa Rivers. It ain't like he's playing bad. It's just he missed 1,800 days before he played again. We'll see. Jags at Colts in Indy. That could be a trap game. Titans and Saints, who cares? Cardinals, Bengals, who cares? Giants, Raiders, who cares? Seahawks at Panthers. That's another trap game. All right, the Panthers upset the Rams at home, and the Panthers could also upset the Seahawks at home. Now, if this happens, Would we get the #1 spot then, or would we still have to win out? I think we still have to win out because we have to play Seattle the following week. But yeah, Seahawks and Panthers, Jaguars and Colts. Those are the only two interesting games on Sunday. You know, and watch out for the Browns and Steelers. That could be a trap. But other than that, just give me those two games on Saturday. Those are going to be good. I can't wait to see Baltimore at Green Bay. All right, to wrestling. What do I think the WWE is going to be like in 2026? It looks like it's going to still suck. If we can't get Bianca Belair back anytime soon, because they don't know what the fuck to do with Jade Cargill right now, as she is just, you know, like beating mid-card jobbers right now, like Mi Shin and B-Fab. Not that I don't mind them getting some airtime, but come on, y'all. She needs better competition than this. Somebody needs to come to the main roster to SmackDown. I don't know who, but somebody. You know, Sol Ruka, you've been having her on television. Put her on SmackDown. Obafemi, put him on SmackDown. Liddy told me the other day that Trick Williams is coming to SmackDown. Come on, let's do it. Now, I appreciate Jade Cargill being the women's champion, but I don't appreciate her being champion just to say, we gave her the belt. Are you niggers not happy? Don't do that. Give her a good championship run. Triple fraud, Triple H, triple nose. I don't like that dude anymore. I used to love Triple H coming up. And he did do so well when he took over, you know, the WWE with his booking. But all he did was fix Vince McMahon's stories. And when those stories finished, he didn't do anything else. That's why he looks like Barry Switzer with the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s. All he did was win a championship with Jimmy Johnson's groceries. He put together a good meal, but Jimmy Johnson bought the groceries. That's who I compare Triple H to, Barry Switzer. Now what has he done? Roman Reigns is pretty much not on TV ever. When he is, he's damn near looking like a jobber. He's getting buried most of the time. Gunther's the retirement killer, but he got tapped out to Jey Uso in 10 seconds. I ain't gonna forget that shit. Did you think we did? I appreciate Jay being a champion, but make it a good run, or else it's just like Swerve Strickland when he was the champion in AEW. Just a fighting champion doing nothing, and no stories and no real good feuds. Bianca's got to get back quick. I know she's still hurt, but please come back, baby. Please come back. And then Carmelo Hayes. Thank God he's the United States champion, but you could have did it better. Dragunov's run was trash. I told you it would be trash, and I told you that he would not have any story, and he didn't. But I'm glad he gave the title up to Carmelo Hayes. Now make it a good run. Put him in a story with somebody. What happened to him and The Miz? I'm okay with you writing it off, but that could have been his first title run right there. And then move on to the next. You just kind of said, that's over. I respect The Miz and blah, blah, blah. He's starting to get some cheers as a babyface, but it just takes so much, it seems like, for people that look like me with my complexion to actually get those, right, yay. Come on, y'all. Do right by Carmelo. Where the hell is the Street Profits? And who else was I complaining about? Let's get Oba and Trick to the main roster. Shawn Michaels is a better booker than Triple H, y'all. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. There was a rumor that Triple H is going to be out and The Rock is going to be in 2026. Did anybody find out if that was true or false? I got that from the Wrestling Universe on the internet the other day. Said TKO was going to do that, but I doubt that's going to happen. But Triple H, man, you got to do better. Creative team, you got to do better. Let's get some real stories. And while we talk about SmackDown being so bad, Raw is not any better. In 2026, let's stop teasing Jade versus Rhea Ripley or Jade versus Charlotte Flair. Just fucking do it. Because if Bianca's not coming back by the Rumble, which I think she will be though, let's go ahead and do it. In 2026, Triple H, no more retirement tours. No more farewell tours. Give them one match. AJ Styles, Brock Lesnar, Rey Mysterio Jr., whoever it is, they don't need a farewell tour. That messed up all of 2025, and you didn't do it right with John Cena. I think Triple H has personal vendettas, and I think he only pushes the people that he personally likes. And Austin Theory hasn't been one person that he likes. Now, I'm interested in seeing where this goes, but I didn't get to see all of Monday Night Raw, and it looked pretty boring to me. What was he, in a tag match with Bronson Reed or Bron Breakker, and they went against Punk and Rey Mysterio? They're not even doing anything with CM Punk as the champion. And where the fuck is his wife, AJ Lee? I know it sounds like I'm complaining, but damn it, there's nothing exciting to talk about in the WWE. There's nothing that I'm really looking forward to other than I hope they do better with Jade. I hope they do better with Carmelo Hayes. But it just looks like they're just putting the titles on these black people to say, are you niggers satisfied now? And I just hope that's not the case. And I'm not trying to make this about race. It just seems that wrestling just isn't for us sometimes. That's just what it looks like at times. That's all I'm saying. I love everybody in the WWE, and I want everybody to be good. I'm the same person that says Chelsea Green deserves more. And they finally figured that out and gave her the United States Women's Championship again. But make this run meaningful. They're trying to get Julia back into the United States Championship picture. And this time when she wins it, they want to make it more meaningful, which is the right thing to do. They're doing that right because they understand that they gave it to her too soon. They also gave Stephanie Valkyrie the title way too soon, too. Was she on Raw last night? I hope 2026 is much better. I hope there's better feuds, better storylines, and I hope we don't get farewell tours from all these people who are ready to retire and expect the same red carpet treatment that John Cena got. But you didn't do the things that John Cena did. Not that I think Cena's the GOAT, but most people do. So nobody else deserves that. Give him one match like Goldberg and move on. Seriously, just move on. And last but not least in wrestling, damn, what was I going to say? I had one more thing. Yeah, the Austin Theory thing, make it a good push. Make the vision, not that they're doing bad with the vision, but let's make this interesting. Let's get the most out of Austin Theory now that he is a part of the vision. And, you know, just like you're doing Braun and Bronson, he needs to be the next big thing in the company. I guess that's all I've got, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Jericho will probably be back for the Rumble. Bianca Belair will probably be back for the Rumble. Can we get the title on Liv or the tag team titles on Liv and Roxanne Perez? If not, get rid of the Judgment Day. Dirty Dom is injured, so I don't know what's going to happen with him in his Intercontinental Championship. But that's pretty much all I got. Let me read a few comments and see what y'all got to say. I have said enough. Thank y'all for listening to me, though. Okay, that would be nuts, but now the Lakers ain't doing nothing. Good comment, Bree. Bree, you seem to know your sports pretty good here. Or the Rams. Let's see here. Vance Joseph would be the Giants' new head coach, and it would be scary. Okay, so would you take him over Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame? They really love Notre Dame, from what I'm hearing in New York. Good comment, Wink Holmes. If Joe doesn't leave, then I don't know. Oh, I read that one already. How about Brock Purdy last night, though, huh? He was on fire. Yeah, Caesar, he was on fire. 5 touchdowns? The first time a Niner quarterback has done that in the regular season since Joe Montana in 1990. The first time it's happened since Steve Young in Super Bowl 29. Hell yeah, he was on fire. Look, man, I know I said a lot of stuff about Mac Jones over Brock Purdy. My only problem with Purdy is that he's very reckless with the football. If he's not doing that, I'm fine. He's doing all the right things, making all the right decisions, being mobile. That's what I always loved over Mac Jones. And I'm seeing him like with a little zip on the ball. His ball used to kind of float. I don't know if it's juice or that elbow is just better. But yeah, I ain't got no complaints with Brock Purdy right now. But I hate to say it, even though we're almost at the end of the season, I still need to see him do this against the Bears and the Seahawks. It's much better competition compared to what we saw last night against a Colts team with no Sauce Gardner, no Charvarius Ward. I hate to nitpick. I just always got to keep it a buck, y'all. And that's why a lot of y'all watch me, because I am very unbiased. Give Roman the title. Problem solved. What you said. What you said, Mike Too Clean. And I hate to say that because that says that means we're not moving to the future. We don't see these young talent as the next up and coming. But it can be done. Roman can slowly build a new character, a new young superstar up into the championship, you know what I'm saying, title reign, slowly but surely, but he could be the champion doing it. Put the tag titles back on the Usos, and let's go back to what they used to do. Good comment, Mike Too Clean. That's what I probably was going to say and forgot. Anybody ever watch the old YouTube videos and watch Roman and his entrance? That old entrance was just goated. The tribal chief interest is much better than this new OTC1 bullshit. And him being by himself. He just looks better with the whole family. Let's get it back to that. I'm sorry. That's when wrestling was good. Make wrestling good again. Damn, Logan trying to steal Joshua's chain after Jake lost the fight. Damn, brothers are clowns, for real. Happy world. Good comment, man. Well, I hope you don't think I'm a clown, because I actually kind of like the Paul brothers. They're all right. You know, the only thing I like about them mainly is that I know people think that they're not qualified to do what they're doing, but they can step into anybody's, you know what I'm saying, atmosphere and do what they do. Just as good, if not better. Now, I know I don't do the Jake Paul fights. I don't watch that shit. That ain't real boxing. But Logan Paul's cool. And Jake ain't bad. But he got what he deserved. He got that damn jaw broke. And he's going to jump. He's going to step back down in weight classes because Anthony Joshua put him back in his place. Frank said Messi better than Ronaldo. Say said, let's go Niners. Bang, bang. Jake Paul should have fought someone his weight. But yeah, respect to Paul for taking the fight. That's what I'm talking about. It still takes a man, a real man, to get in the ring with somebody that you know you probably shouldn't be in the ring with. But he is going to go back down a weight class. Bang, bang, say 2881. He says, go Niners. Jake, what's up, young man? He said, let's go Panthers. 49ers bullied the old man Rivers last night. I don't know if we bullied him, but we beat him. What's called Buffalo? Let's go Buffalo. All right. Karen, thank you so much. Buffalo, I love your quarterback. Jake said it's been a long time. Yes, it has. Chris says go Niners. Jake says, hey, The Rock has a monster. George Watts? I probably shouldn't have read that out loud. Okay. Anyway, how y'all doing? And I appreciate y'all joining. This has been the Great Debate Show. I got to stop reading all the comments. But yeah, I'm with Mike Too Clean. He said give Roman the title, problem solved. And I really agree. All right, y'all, that's all I got. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. I'll be back tomorrow. Probably won't be a live stream, but you can still catch the content if you just follow The Great Debate Show and subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Great Debate Show. While you're at it, hit that notification bell because, well, you never know when your favorite unk might pop back up. Until the next time, y'all, be safe out there. Peace.